Is it playing? I can't hear it.
They knew everything about me. They must have watched on the internet.
Oh my God.
Someone's tapped into the system.
I'm staring at the personal files of the Undersecretary of Defense. Think of the power that they have.
You can make it reality. Won't you choose?
They've screwed my information and my fingerprints.
It's time to go.
I don't understand. Why me?
This summer, Sandra Bullock is caught in the net.
They've done it to me. They're going to do it to you.
Rated PG-13 at theaters July 28th.
Yeah, the internet is where people put information they don't want people to see.
Dude, I'm not like the world's most observant person of female hairstyles, but I felt like Sandra Bullock didn't have bangs in this whole movie, and then when they put her in the prison jumpsuit, she suddenly had bangs for the first time.
She had bangs all of a sudden. Yeah, I didn't even notice. I didn't notice her bangs. I think she had hair like it was all swept to the side for most of it, wasn't it? I don't know.
Yeah, but I felt like the bangs just appeared all of a sudden. I was like, did she have bangs this whole time? And I didn't notice because she doesn't have bangs in the poster. I'm looking at it right now.
Which poster? There's a green one, and then there's a regular one, and then she's got.
The one that I've seen is it's like black, and then it's just her whole face, but it's got a lot of shadows on it, and then across it is got diagonal text.
Yeah, so I've seen that one, but then the one on Netflix is like greenish blue, and her bangs are swept to the side. I don't know why we're talking so much about her bangs.
Just because I was confused, I was like, dude, I don't.
You know who did have some nice bangs? Dennis Miller. Ice cold, just long in the back, bangs in the front, full beard. It was nice.
Yeah, dude, Dennis Miller. He had his thing happening. I was like, ooh, Dennis Miller in this movie playing Dennis Miller. He always does the same. He's only in like 4 movies. He's always doing the exact same thing.
It's always the same.
I forgot, I didn't write it in my notes, but that trailer made me think of it. Every time there was she was typing on a screen, because in 1995 there really was it was just like freaking DOS shit. There was it was like Windows 3.1. They had to create fake software for the movie, so it was like the fingerprint reader 9000. I was like, it was all made just for the movie.
And it kept going, shoo, shoo, and it kept zooming in every time she would click something. Every time they show words during the trailer, there'd be a gunshot.
Because I remember I remember distinctly in the beginning when she was ordering pizza, and I was like, ah, man, I want to do that. When this movie came out, I was like, you can't do that. I want that, but you can't. And now you can. I can do it from my phone. I can literally go to any of the major pizza app places and go I want half pepperoni, I want half sausage, I want light sauce, I want garlic butter on the crust. Bring it to my house. Don't talk to me. Just leave it at the doorstep. I can do all of that, but it took decades.
Yeah, way longer than it should have, right?
Way
longer.
Yeah.
Dude, and it doesn't even always work that well.
It doesn't, because sometimes I'll order. I don't do it very much, but sometimes I'll order the Domino's app. It's like, hey, you have free pizza. I'm like, let's do it. And then I'll be like, hey, I want it exactly this way. I'm going to pull up. I'm going to honk. You put it in the front seat of the car. And they're like, sure, we got you. And then you pull up to the store, and the workers are inside the store giving me the finger. They're like, we're not going out there. We don't care what the app told you.
Oh, that's great. I get pizza dropped off by all the kids that I used to teach. So they're like, oh, snap, Mr. Horn, what's up? I don't have anything extra to give you. I'm sorry. I'm like, that's okay.
Nobody delivers pizza to my house, which is...
that's crazy.
It's fine. We have 5 really good pizza restaurants in my neighborhood, none of which are Domino's or Pizza Hut or Little Caesars or whatever. So I can't really complain because it's very easy to get pizza. But sometimes I want someone to bring it to me. I'm like, this is bullshit. I got to walk 2 blocks.
Can somebody put it in my mouth and move my jaw, please? I need something.
They're almost in the afternoon, too. What are we waking up so early for? Movie Life Crisis Season 5, Episode 7, The Net, 1995. Classic.
Oh, man. Classic is right.
It was really easy to pick my 3 favorite actors from this movie because there's only 3 people in this movie.
Yeah, I was going to say, I started picking stuff and I was like, wait a second. Yeah, it's a lot of the same. But
so I read people complain about podcasts. It's like, I hate when they just talk in the beginning. I want to just get right into the movie. And I sometimes hate that too. But I got to ask you, because I've been meaning to ask you since the last time we recorded. I was listening to Nas, The Message.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I got to ask Jeff about this because you know more about hip hop, the history.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, spun around and shot one, heard shots and dropped son, caught a hot one, somebody take this biscuit before the cops come. It's very clear to me that biscuit means gun, but I don't remember any other rapper ever talking about a gun as a biscuit. Did I miss that?
I don't think biscuit is gun.
It's definitely gun. He's talking all about shooting somebody and getting shot,
Yeah.
and he wants somebody to take the biscuit before the cops come.
I,
And I was like, first of all, I'm not giving anyone my biscuit, but I think he means something different. I think it's
what
a
if it's a
metaphor.
Popeyes biscuit? You still, because those are so dry now. I think biscuit is drugs, but like,
Oh, wait, really? Oh,
yeah,
I was thinking it was the gun because he was talking about the whole thing was a shootout.
I think this, dude. I don't know. Maybe, dude. Maybe it is a freaking.
I
That
thought I
song's-
remembered it from one.
I was gonna say
like-
that song's in Belly, wasn't it in Belly? And I'm thinking they're shooting people. It might be gun. I have no idea.
I always
maybe
thought it
he
was gun,
just-
but now you got me rethinking. Maybe it was
no
a
idea.
physical biscuit. He's like, the cops are coming. Someone else eat my biscuit.
Somebody, I have a 6-piece and a biscuit. Please take it.
Well, dude, I'm trying to read about it, and I see that in Eminem, Guilty Conscience, Dre says drop the biscuit. Then, like, remember in the skit in the middle of that song where they're holding up the
Right.
they're holding up the store.
Thank you.
And then Eminem,
Yes.
thank you, and he shoots him.
Yeah.
So Dre says drop the biscuit. All right, we don't have the answer to that, but I wanted to go back in time because that's
All
about
I
the right
can
time
think
for
of
this.
is Taste the Biscuit, that stupid video that one kid sent me, and now it's in the YouTube playlist when I play videos. It's really bad. Don't look up Taste the Biscuit, but it could be gun. Dude, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it is gun. I just don't know. I don't know why.
Somebody
but I got
take
it.
this biscuit before it's for the cops come, right? Is that?
Yeah, caught a hot one. Somebody take this biscuit for the whole. But that whole verse is about like, I peeped the front and I was in the street, sunk in a Jeep, beats bumping. You're like,
Yeah.
it's like the whole thing is like he's shooting somebody shoots him. Somebody quick, take this biscuit before the cops come.
It's probably gun. It's probably gun.
But I couldn't figure out why because that wasn't like that. That one didn't catch on. I was like,
And
maybe that's
biscuit,
like cowabunga. You just like two people said it for like a little bit, and now no one knows why.
He wasn't. He didn't need that to rhyme anything, so I don't know why. You know what I'm saying? Biscuit wasn't the end of the line.
No, it wasn't. All right.
Maybe he already used all the gun euphemisms.
Movie Life
yeah.
Crisis. Email us in, white people, and tell us why. That you guys probably know. Y'all are all our age.
Oh yeah, my dad will listen to this one, and he'll definitely be the first one to email in.
He's already clicked away. He's like, why is I don't know why.
Who is this?
These stupid kids that are way past middle age.
Oh man.
All right, so why do we do this movie? I just wanted to.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it.
I liked the idea of this movie. I remember really liking this movie.
I have it in my notes, and I like they keep making this movie where it's like somebody made a thing that will get behind all the encryption and give you access to all the websites, and then the government's going to come and kill you. It's like Enemy of the State does it, like
Right.
Sneakers did it from the '92
Yeah.
season. I always like that movie. I'm always excited about it.
Yeah. The Enemy of the State is the one that I put in here. I was like, oh snap, this is just like that, except it's different and newer, but not that much newer.
No,
Still
it's
a
like
lot of physical
99.
media. Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
Still a lot of
It's like an
physical
actual.
medium
It's a
stuff.
freaking box that you carry around.
Yeah, that's that he put in a bag, and then he was like, rotate, enhance, and he was like, see, he put it in the bag. I was like, what?
Yeah, he was in the lingerie store, and
Even
they
in
dropped it in
'99,
his-
I was like, no, he can't tell that. That's not a thing.
No, that's not how that works.
Yeah, I got to be honest. I'm glad we picked this because I remember liking it back in the Gap, and I'm glad I watched it again.
Yeah, this is also this is the extent of Dennis Miller's movie career, as far as I can remember. Other than he played the radio DJ, who's basically him and Joe Dirt.
Yeah, I was gonna say Joe Dirt. He's just that, and Joe Dirt. He's just him. I don't dislike Dennis Miller. I think he's funny. I
like
don't know
Dennis
what
Miller.
he does now, but
I think for
I
a while,
know
I
he
think
was
he was
funny.
a radio guy, and I think
Oh, nice.
I think he's like kind of like a conservative radio. I don't know if he still does that or not.
nice.
But he would just
I
like get on the
always,
radio
thought
and
he was
just
funny.
yeah, he's. I used to have when he had his like Dennis Miller show on HBO, and he's like, I don't want to get off on a rant here. There was
Yeah.
a book just of the rants
remember
from
that.
the
I
show, and I
remember that.
owned the book because I thought it was
Yeah, I remember
he would
that.
just string together the references, and I was like 11. I didn't get any of them, but I thought it was
Yeah,
hilarious.
I gotta go and look up all the references just so I can chuckle and breathe hard out of my nose. Like,
He's like, Christ sakes, this guy's like, and he just would
Yeah.
say a bunch of words I didn't know. And I was like, that's funny. I feel smart. from hearing
Okay,
that.
well, this is the perfect segue because I wrote a Dennis Miller style synopsis for this movie.
Do it in the style of Dennis Miller.
I can't do a Dennis Miller impression, but I'm going to try.
Okay.
So there's this flick, The Net, where Sandra Bullock plays a reclusive computer whiz whose life gets Control-Alt-Deleted faster than you could say Commodore 64. She stumbles upon a conspiracy more tangled than the plot lines in a Borges novel translated into Klingon. Next thing you know, her identity's been erased, cleaner than the Nixon tapes, and she's on the run like a Kafka-esque episode of Where's Waldo. It's as if Orwell's 1984 had a love child with a Y2K panic manual, and this movie's The Baby Monitor. That was the best I could do. I mean, I don't want to get on a rant here, but...
Rarely do I use the soundboard, but that one deserved it.
Dude, so what I did is the book you're talking about is on Hoopla, so I looked it up to see if my library had it, and they did. I flipped through Kafka, Borges, Nixon. He just kept using those references, so I just threw those in there.
I think the only other thing you do when you're Dennis Miller is you throw a bunch of, okay?
Yeah.
All right? You know what I'm saying?
Babe. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of your best synopsises ever. Synopses.
Synopses.
$22 million budget, $110 million gross. So this movie in the year is a pretty big. I mean, financially, is 5x.
Yeah,
big
that's
success.
really big, right?
Yeah, number 35 on the year between Something to Talk About and Under Siege 2. Steven Seagal on a train. Neither of which we are going to get to.
That's a shame. I like the song Something to Talk About, but I've never seen the movie.
I do too. I was thinking is the was Whiter Shade of Pale in this song, but it wasn't the Procol Harum version?
Yeah, it was a different version, yeah.
Because I was like,
I only know
Life and Dango. I was like, that's not the version though. That's from something else.
Yeah, the only reason I even know that song is because my parents gave me the Big Chill tape.
Yeah, dude.
When I was younger, and that was the last song on side A.
Big Chill. I could sing every song on the soundtrack. I've never seen the movie. I've listened to the tape 1,000 times.
The good thing about it is you could listen to that song, and right before "And So We Will," right before that part, if you stopped it and flipped it over, it would start right at the beginning of the second song on side B, which was Smokey Robinson's song.
Nice.
And I don't know why I always skipped "Ain't Too Proud to Beg," which is the first song on the B side.
Yeah.
Once I realized I liked that, I just listened to it all the way through. That's freaking... Nobody talks about tapes anymore, man. What are we doing? They definitely... everybody's gone now. Everybody's gone.
No. Our people know about if you flip the tape over the exact right point, you get right to that. Because everybody knew when you got to the last song on one side, if you cut it off like at the exact right time, you could start at the beginning of the other side.
Yeah. And you don't have to use that clear white tape at the beginning that doesn't make noise.
That's a deep cut right there. That goes perfectly with this movie where everything is 9 million years old and all the computer monitors weigh 200 pounds.
Oh, man. That's how she could have killed that guy. Hit him with a computer monitor. Good Lord.
Okay. Awards? I didn't see any awards. Maybe you saw some awards.
She won Jupiter Award. That's like the
the science fiction
award thing. She won it for this and A Time to Kill. So she,
good for her.
She did really well. Old Sandy Bullock. You know what's weird too? A lot of the background, behind the scenes stuff that I watched on YouTube for this, all of the writers and directors and people working on the movie they all call her Sandy.
Sandy?
Yeah.
One of these days, maybe we'll have her on and we can ask her what we're supposed to call her.
Yes.
I'm gonna also ask her, how did she keep getting cast as like a nerdy, like awkward, weird looking girl in this movie and in Miss Congeniality when like actually she's freaking red hot and charming as all can be. That's not at all. It's like, yeah, she's a computer nerd. She eats a half pizza every night with a freaking coffee mug full of M&Ms. I believe that.
I eat that. And
exactly, and you look like you.
Exactly the same.
Right. If you showed me a clip of you eating a half pizza and a mug of M&Ms, I'd be like, that makes sense. But then Sandra Bullock's like,
her? Yeah.
Then she's on the beach in Mexico, like in a bikini. I was like, this just doesn't, I don't.
Right. Yeah.
Sequels and spinoffs, obviously, that we talked about it before we started. The Net 2.0, big hit, straight to video.
Huge hit.
2006.
It was really.
You guys want to pause this episode right now and run out and watch that on Tubi, commercial free?
Commercial free.
No, you
Yeah,
don't.
I made sure to mention that they didn't try to monetize that. It was commercial free. And Tubi is all about the commercials too. So,
Dude, Tubi's, they're probably having a pizza party right now because someone watched that movie on their website. Like, dude, someone watched the Net 2.0. Everyone come in the conference room. We got cupcakes.
Milton.
The three
just
people
passed.
who work at Tubi.
Yeah. So do you remember when you saw this the first time?
I saw it when it came out. I didn't see it in the theater, but I rented it from Blockbuster because I remember being upset that the stuff she was doing in the movie on her computer you couldn't actually do on a computer.
You couldn't actually
You could
do it,
play
yeah.
you could play Wolfenstein.
Yeah,
which,
Wolfenstein was on there.
but you couldn't order pizza on your second computer that she had set up next to her first computer.
No. No. Do you know how the temperature it would have been in there? It would have just sounded like you were running a box fan constantly and then just hot.
Yeah, dude,
yeah,
your pizza
yeah.
never does get cold. You just set it there next to the computers.
Set it next to the CRT monitor. Is that what it's called? CRT?
Yeah.
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 So same for me. Like I remember renting this. I also own it on DVD.
I do too.
I found it in the stack. But I watched it on Netflix. So
Yeah.
it was great. It's fine.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
clean.
We pay $30 a month for Netflix. My wife has got the she's calling up Netflix. She's like, "Are you sure there's no more expensive plan?" They're like, "No, ma'am, you already have the most expensive." And she's like, "All right, well, I was just making sure." And I still can't frickin' log into it at my studio. I have to tell Netflix I'm on vacation. I'm like, "We pay you fuckers as much money as it's possible to pay you."
You take
And
my
they're still
wallet
going
and
like-
give me back how much you think I should
Yeah.
have.
Yeah. Oh man! And do you remember how much Damon Wayans says Disney World is in that joke? Because it's way more now.
$32.50.
32.50. Don't be
It
gonna be
is.
real sleepy and grumpy tonight.
It is so much more expensive than that.
Yeah,
now.
now it's like $900 a person.
Oh man.
Yeah, dude. So I watched it on Netflix too, but I'm still pissed at Netflix for making that so difficult for me.
But that seems like a running theme for everybody. They're just going to make it as difficult as possible.
I put our streaming stuff in a spreadsheet this week because like, all right, we're spending way too much money. I was like, why do we we got Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, and Hulu, and then we pay separately for Max. I'm like, we don't ever watch ESPN Plus. Let's get rid of that. I'm like, Netflix.
Is that
we
not
don't
all
need
bunched together? I think that's all blocked together. You might not.
Well,
be able to
yeah,
get rid of
but
that.
we don't even use the ESPN part of it, so I just swapped that. But I was like, we're paying like $110 a month for streaming. I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
glad we got rid of cable because this didn't save us any money.
at all.
But yeah, I revamped.
You
I made
sail
some
the high
cuts.
seas, man. I'm telling you. We talked
I
about it.
made some cuts. Yeah, I like to pay for stuff, but not if
Yeah.
they keep ripping me off.
Just tell them you're on vacation. All right, where do you rate it?
I gave it a 6 out of 10.
See, all right.
I really liked the first half, and I was like, man, this movie's good. I'm glad we're doing this. And then I was like, oh, this is cool. I remember, and then I was like, we're probably wrapping up here any minute now. And then I looked, and I was like, no, we got 45 minutes to go. And I was like,
no, we're still going.
I was like, we're going to drop it down a couple pegs because I'm ready for it to be done. It seems like we've done everything we needed to.
All right. So I was the same exact way the whole time I was watching it. But the problem is I watched it last week. And I put the ratings in right before we do it. Like right before I log in to connect with you, that's when I do it. And the whole time in my head, I was like, oh, she was kind of good. Like there was some tension there. There's a thriller. Like if I didn't know what would happen because I hadn't seen it already, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I felt like it built up, and you can't give a 7. And I felt like I liked it enough to give it an 8. So I'm
It's
giving
good,
it
dude.
an 8.
It's good. It's just almost 2 hours, and it has no business being almost 2 hours. It needs to be
Right.
90 minutes. We need to cut 25 minutes out of this thing, and I would easily give it an 8 because it was
Dude,
great.
I could totally cut it out too.
I enjoyed
know
it.
exactly what I would cut out. So what?
Me too.
So this is what I'm wondering, because like I was watching the trailer during my off hour, and I had it paused on my computer. So when that next class came in, they saw what was on my computer. And they're like, Mr. Horn, what the heck is this? I was like, oh, it's the net. And I pressed play, and I let them see it. And they're like, golly, look at that computer. And like they were just like shocked. So I think I don't know how to phrase this question, but you know how if you're watching a movie in the Wild West and everybody's riding horses and not bathing and shooting each other, you're like, okay, yeah, I can put myself in that period and see that. This
Yeah.
was 30 years ago. I think everybody lives so close to how she lives now but everything is still so way different that it's hard for kids that age to like get into this. Like, I don't know that you make, I know you don't make the same movie, obviously, but I'm saying like they can't go back and watch this because the whole time they'd be like, why? Just just use your smartphone. Like, they don't, you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, that's the thing I was thinking about is that I don't think it ages that well because
of the
like
technology.
in 1995, it's like a cautionary tale about technology, and now everyone's like, yeah, no shit, they track you all the time.
All the time.
Our
everywhere.
phones are listening to us talk right now,
Yeah.
and they're going to try to sell us shit from the conversation we have right now, and nobody's even upset about it. That's how it always. And Sandra Bullock's like, "I'll do it to you," and we're like, "Yeah, they did it to us. They did it to every one of us, and everyone was happy about it. No one gave a shit. Like, we're there."
So what can we constantly mention in the podcast that'll come through the speakers of our listeners so they all start getting ads for it? We should.
I think we already did it.
thing
It's Sandra Bullock's bangs. We're gonna get everyone's gonna get fed news stories about Sandra Bullock's bangs, or Nas, The Message, which is a song everyone should listen to.
I can't
It's amazing.
wait to eat biscuits tonight.
Yeah, that's what I kept thinking. I was like,
going-
she's so. But also, like in 1995, she's like, they're tracking me. I'll just give my phone to a homeless guy. I'm like, if you told a kid now that they're gonna kill him unless they give up their phone, they'd be like, well, it was a good run.
Yeah, sorry,
Like,
I can't make it.
They're not handing over their phone.
Dude, we're doing a create your own civilization, and I offered $500 billion to use in your civilization to buy government stuff in their civilization because all of them are out of money.
Yeah.
All you got to do is put your phone up here in a box, and they're like, all right, I don't need it that bad. My people are good. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah, dude.
Bad grades, and you're killing your hypothetical people all because you can't let go of your phone. It's crazy.
So that's like the whole like cautionary tale. We've lost it. It's over.
It's already over.
We're
we
screwed.
We lost the war on technology.
Yeah, dude. I mean, me and you are like using ChatGPT to help us prep this episode, like while the world catches on fire around us, and our phone hears us doing that and tries to sell us shit we don't need.
Right.
And I'm like, well, I'll take that. Maybe I want that.
I'm pretty good at not buying stuff, though.
I'm
I don't have
great.
any money.
I'm great at not buying stuff, as my phone will tell you. Yeah, no, dude, I love the concept. Sandra Bullock is freaking great. She's charming as hell. She's coming off of Demolition Man, coming off of Speed.
Yeah,
She's
killing it.
Yeah, dude, and this is kind of her first solo, vehicle. It's like, hey, it's a Sandra Bullock movie. She's on screen the entire time.
Yeah,
which
she
I'm a
carries the
huge
whole
fan
thing.
of. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm totally fine with it. You know what I did notice too? This is horrible. I can tell the difference of what year the movie is, not because of the monitors, but because of the actors' teeth. They would show a close-up of people's teeth, and I was like, God, Jesus, get some brushing going. Like, it's so weird that now everybody has, like, straight
everybody now's got,
or,
dude. Everybody's teeth now looks like AI. They're so
Yeah.
straight and so white. It's like it seems like
yeah.
I'm about to get robbed by like you're distracting me from something else bad that's about to happen.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I need
All right,
to
you
get
got
me
it.
some...
You got it as an 8. I got it as a 6. Rotten Tomatoes has it as a 5.1.
What?
Yeah.
Good Lord. What
I mean,
do they
dude,
want?
it's too long. It's too
It
long. They
is,
want it to be
but
30
still.
minutes shorter.
That cuts it in half? No. A 5. Get out of here with that.
All right. Well, so
You're idiots.
what's your best scene? Like the scenes I had a pretty easy time with. Quotes I had a real hard time with.
The quotes I did have a hard time also.
What's your first scene?
These are not in order of the movie. These are in just a random order that I wrote them down and put them on my thing. She's on a phone call from jail. You know, you only get one phone call. The person she decides to call because she's all out of people to call is her mom, who has dementia or Alzheimer's or whatever.
Yeah.
And she's like slowly starting to lose it. I thought she played that part really, really well.
Yeah,
like,
dude, she's awesome.
She's freaking really good at acting. Like, I believed that she was all out of options and she was slowly, like, losing it. Because she was asking her mom, like, come on, Mom, you'll tell him that, like, I'm me, right? Like, that whole thing, because it had built up. All these people were telling her, no, you're not you. and and then that part came on. That was like the one that I put, and I put a star next to it when I put it in my notes. So I made sure that I wanted to talk about that because that, to me, that's the best acting that she does in the movie, I think.
Yeah, that's a good scene because it actually was like emotional. Her mom doesn't remember her. We've seen that several times in the movie. She's like, "Oh, you must be one of my piano students," and she's like, "No, Mom, I'm your daughter.
No, I'm me.
I don't know why I visit you because you don't even know."
Right.
That was a good one.
Sucks.
Yeah, dude, that definitely sucks. I am been very clear to my family that if it gets to the point where I don't know what's going on, bullet to the head. I'm good. I'm out.
Just yank the plug straight out of the wall.
Yeah. I like that one. The first one I had is the beginning scene of the movie where she's got the two monitors. One she's like doing her hacker shit, and the other one she's ordering
that's my
pizza.
next one. Yeah.
And you know her boss, who she's never met because she works remotely, 30 years before anyone can work remotely. Over dial-up internet, by the way. I know y'all know there's no high-speed internet in 1995. She's got to go.
That was a really good impression. That was really good.
Was it? I didn't prep that at all. But
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, and her boss is like, he's like, "Hey, maybe I'll take you to dinner." She's like, "No, I got dinner plans." He's like, "Maybe tomorrow." He's like, hey, "These are kind of standing plans." And then she hangs up and she swivels to her second computer and she's like, "Extra large pizza,
Yeah.
pepperoni,
Anchovies.
bring it." Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's freaking playing Wolfenstein and she's like figuring out the bugs of the thing. And none of the computer graphics look like this in '95. And I was like, this is awesome. This is when this movie came out, I was like, this is what I want from the internet. One computer just for ordering pizza, one just for playing games.
This is my pizza computer.
Yeah.
Let me start it up. She runs off diesel. It's so hot in there. So
never have to turn on the heater.
I have the same scene. I just love how that set up her isolated lifestyle and just it showed like the internet culture when she's talking to Cyber Bob and somebody else, and they're doing
the chat rooms.
And
you know how early it is in the internet? She's typing in the chat rooms in full words with proper capitalization and shit.
Yeah, she's using punctuation and stuff.
Yeah,
dude, you don't do that.
Yeah,
anymore.
she put a semicolon in there at one point.
You don't know the play. I sent a text message to Olivia and put a period in there, and she's in college, and she was like, "Are you mad at me?" I'm like, "What?" I was like, "What?" Oh man, she thought I was
punctuating and shit. Yeah, that was.
She was doing the whole thing.
But that's another one where like me and you and people listening to this podcast go like, "Oh, I remember the early days." And if you showed this to a kid, they'd be like, "Why?" They wouldn't think it's weird for her to be home typing on her computer to her friends, playing games, ordering food. That's how they live all the time.
That's
the weird thing would
be
that it was a physical computer they had to sit at a desk for.
Yeah, and it took forever for it to dial up. Do it again?
Yeah. No, I don't think I can recreate the magic. But dude, I distinctly remember we had a freaking gateway PC tower.
Oh yeah.
And like my dad was like, "You heard about this internet thing?" I was like, "Yeah, it sounds awesome." And we bought a modem, a 14.4 baud modem, and it came in a freaking static box, and you had to wear a special wristband when you installed it. And we took it apart. I thought we were defusing a bomb because I'm like 11, 12.
It's awesome.
And we put that shit in there and plugged it into the phone line, and I was like, and you get on the internet, and it's at like 1992. There's nothing there. There's nothing on. You have to do the AOL
three
disk.
sites. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just porn, which is the same as it is today, as I understand.
It's the same thing, except it doesn't pop up. It just trickles down. All right, nice boobs. Here we go. All right, penis. Next.
It's rendered in one line at a time. I'll be here for 2 hours. Yeah. But no, dude, I remember the dial-up. I remember the dial-up culture. You couldn't do shit with it.
Yeah. And she's working from home, so she's not doing Zoom meetings.
No.
Everything's on her speakerphone, and
no, dude, they FedEx her freaking discs.
They're mailing 3.5-inch floppies, which really hits home for me also. But that's a different story. The whole idea is they're just sending the floppies back and forth, and they said, "Hey, check out this one disc," and it's got a thing at the bottom with the pi symbol. When she clicks on it, it takes her to the dark web or the behind the scenes thing where she could see like medical files of somebody that she talked about in the trailer.
She's breaking into all the different stuff. Wait, real quick. Do you remember how much storage space was on a 3.5-inch floppy disk?
I am going to go with 256 megabytes.
1.4 megabytes. So about half of one song in MP3 compressed format.
Oh man.
You can listen to the first verse chorus of Whiter Shade of Pale.
And then it'll go right to Smokey Robinson. Oh man. Yeah, dude, that's the early online chat ordering pizza, showing her isolation. That's my second scene as well. The third one, I didn't know what to put because like.
Wait, hang on. Let me do my second one.
Oh, you have a. Oh, yeah, it's my bad. I was thinking you went first.
Dude, I was trying to pick one because I wanted to capture, because Dennis Miller's not in this much of this movie, but I always remember him as being a big part, so I wanted to capture one of the scenes with him, and I think it's maybe like right when he first picks her up. She's like freaking out. She calls him. They used to have an affair. He was her psychiatrist, and he was married, and he's just like, hey, babe, I'm not a taxi. How about a hello? And he's just like quipping, and she's clearly about to have a nervous breakdown. He's just like quipping the whole time. Yeah. And then he takes her to the hotel, and he's like, all right, hotel, here we go. And she's like, no, idiot, not like that. Just they're trying to kill me. But I don't know, man. I just love that Dennis Miller came into the movie and was Dennis Miller for like 20 minutes and then died.
Dude,
I enjoyed it.
I got to be honest, though. In real life, if I'm having a nervous breakdown and Dennis Miller is my only person to call, I think I would probably want him to die after 20 minutes, too. Like, the whole time he was quipping, I was like, Jesus Christ, why didn't he just put it in reverse and get the hell out of there? What's he waiting on? But he was just being him, just doing the thing.
Also, it was kind of funny. I was thinking about it because Dennis Miller's been rocking that same beard for like his whole life. And in 95, like, you didn't see any beards. Now beards fucking thick on the ground. It's like nipple high in beards. But Dennis Miller was the only dude wearing a beard back in the day.
That's he there was very few beards. Back on SNL, he didn't have a beard, but that's the only time I remember him without it. That's the only time.
I was reading through his Wikipedia page when we were prepping this. I completely forgot the Dennis Miller Monday Night Football era.
Oh yeah, you know why I remember?
We do characters.
Yeah, I was gonna say he did the thing where one of the coaches had a headset on each ear with two microphones, and they didn't hit the button in time to mute him, and he was like, "Yeah, man, fucking Dolby," like that, and I lost it. I thought it was hysterical. Freaking Dennis Miller on Monday Night. What were they thinking? That's they didn't bring.
I thought he was good,
back.
Man. I liked it.
They didn't bring it back. I like it.
I haven't watched since. No, he's. Yeah, so I had to pick a Dennis Miller scene for my second because I like him. And he freaking brings her Chinese food. He's like, I got food from that Chinese restaurant you always like. And she's like, no, actually, I don't like Chinese food. That was your favorite. He's like, well, it's immaterial. I knew it was one of our favorites.
Yeah, somebody liked it. I liked it. Yeah, whatever. So the right before that, when she starts to realize, like, oh snap, I got nobody. I can't call my mom. Dad's dead, I assume. You can't call boss because the boss is the person she always talked to was dead. Like, she calls work and freaking the fake Angela answers the phone. Like,
they got an imposter at work for her because no one knows who she is.
And they're slowly starting to. It's like dawning on her. And she comes back home and they moved everything out and the neighbors there talking to the cops. I freaking love that part because I was like, oh, snap, what would I do? Because the neighbor, they already showed that she was nosy, like taking the trash out and like putting it in really slow and staring at her to watch her interact with the FedEx guy. But like, what do you do when everybody around you's like, no, we already have it right here in the computer? Like, again, I know that it's different now, but not really. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you swiped my card and said I was somebody else, like, why can't I prove that?
Dude, we all. Well, I mean, you and I can prove that we're us because we have people who've known us our whole lives. Right. She's like a loner and has one parent who has Alzheimer's, so she has nobody. Yeah. But like, your wife, my wife, our parents, our siblings, people who've known us literally our entire lives, like hundreds of people will go like, no, that's definitely Jeff. I promise. I wish it wasn't, but it is. But in her case,
sure it's not
like,
Sandra Bullock because he eats a large pizza every night.
Yeah, dude, they straight up deleted her. She came back from Mexico where her stuff had been fake stolen by the fake Rupert Everett. And, and then they just changed in the computer her whole thing.
Oh, that's
dude, I'd be screwed if that happened in real life. But
yeah, and she played it up like when she heard the cop talking on the radio, and then she like went out the window like. I was like, damn, I don't know what to do. And I can remember the movie, but I didn't remember like little tiny parts of the scenes. And the whole time I was like, how is she going to get away? Oh, right, the hobo. She gives the hobo a phone or something like that. Like,
Yeah,
that's
dude, she
freaking
gives
great.
her phone to an unhoused person, and then you see him later walking down the street talking on the phone. I don't know who he's talking to that has a cell phone, but he's making some calls.
Yeah, he's getting stuff done. You know what? Sell everything over 30% and call me back in 20 minutes and tell me what I just said.
Dude, and then fake Rupert Everett, the bad guy, the assassin, he's like on his cell phone. He's like, wait, it's a mobile phone, yeah? He's like, all right, so triangulate and you give me the...
And he's like typing with one hand while he's driving with the other. Yeah, he's doing the thing.
Yeah, dude, we need to save like a half an hour for our old tech section. I think we're catching a lot of it as we go. But
So much old tech, though. It's packed.
There's so much. My third one was when she hitchhikes back to her home office, which she's never actually been to, and sneaks in, and then like pulls the fire alarm to get the woman who's replaced her away from her desk. She goes to her desk. She like hacks in by pressing the escape key. That's how that happens.
God, that's the only way to do it. That's how I hack.
Yeah, dude. She clicks on the pie sign and then does the escape key, and then she's in there and she's like putting together this. And dude, it was now I know almost nothing about technology or the internet or computers. I want to make that very clear. But it's even with what little I know, it's so clear that what's happening is nonsense.
It's not.
She tracks down an IP address from looking up this guy's chat username, which,
Right.
by the way, the terrorist organization is known as the Praetorians, and his chat username is Praetorian. And she gets an IP address associated with that username, and then she goes to search it, and it takes like an hour to search the IP address. When meanwhile,
And every single click is zoomed in on stuff. Yes.
Yeah, dude, and it's like the music is all heightened, bump, 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 and everyone's outside going like, "There's no fire. We want to get back to work." And then she finds
everyone
out that
go
it's,
back to your desk. And he's like, "Come on, come on." It's like click.
yeah,
As
like.
it feeds to a disk.
I always like when that's in movies and it's like, hey, we broke in, we have to steal the software, and it's like it's loading, it's almost done saving, the little progress bar's taking so long, which is exactly how I feel when I'm waiting on that.
All I think of is Office Space when he's waiting for the thing to save so he can log off and get away from Lumberg.
Yeah. Peter, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and come in on Saturday. Ooh, and Sunday too.
It's Sunday too. All right, thanks, dude. What a freaking great movie. So this is my question. I know we know the stuff that she was doing was nonsense. And I know the stuff that she was doing isn't able to be done on computers back then.
Yeah.
And I know it's all editing. But doesn't it seem like everything was loading super fast?
Yeah.
Like
That's
it
what I'm
was
saying.
going so fast.
Because everything was graphical and nothing in 95 was actually graphical. So it was all
Right.
stuff they made up like, hey, it's IP address tracker. It's like that's not what that looked like. It was just a screen with text.
Yeah,
And it
it's
loaded
just-
immediately because IP addresses are never something that's taken a long time to track down.
Right.
And it turns out that the real villain is like the Bill Gates character who's trying to sell this software to all
Right.
the governments. And
The real villain
I
was
love
the friends
that.
we met along the way.
yeah, dude, I loved that scene. She freaking sneaks in. She pulls the fire alarm. Everyone leaves. She's trying to hack the computer.
The fire people got there pretty fast too.
Yeah, I think that was in
fast.
San Francisco, so they're probably they care about that in San Francisco. The whole city burned down at one point in time.
Yeah, that's a thing. Yeah, that's another good scene. What? So when you went after quotes, I have 3, but I don't stand by any of them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, dude, it was thin. It's thin pickings for the quotes. I was trying to like.
So my first one is right as they get to the hotel room, and Dr. Alan Champion, who is Dennis Miller, he's like, "Man, this is bizarre. I haven't seen you in so long. What are we even doing here?" She's like, "I just figured you'd be safe." "Oh, great. I've gone from self-centered asshole to safe. Thank you very much." "No, I mean, I figured that they couldn't trace your patient records. They're confidential, right?" "Oh, my patient records. Yeah. I knew I had my subtle charms." And I was like, that is Dennis Miller right there. Like, you write that and have him deliver it, and it was perfect. I wanted more quips, but I don't think they were going to let Dennis Miller just riff, because then nobody would know what he's talking about.
I feel like he riffed a lot and he just wasn't allowed to make his references because one of the lines I had was from him, and I was like, I feel sure he made that up. And it was like, the more I see of men, the more I like dogs. And I was like, that just seems like something Dennis Miller
That's probably
said.
him. That's probably him. I did have another one where he's in the hotel and he holds up the martini glasses, like, "Guess what time it is? Gibbons." Almost. We have no onions, so we'll have to use these. Seldane, the antihistamine of champions. then I said not Gibbons. What's it called? Gibson's, right? Gibson's is what it's called. Yeah, so it's like vermouth and gin and an onion. I can't wait to not try that. That sounds awful.
Yeah, I like if someone's like, hey, if we could make a salad also alcoholic, now we're done. I'm like, cool, you've caught all my least favorite things. And
I just don't like, even the olive in a martini, I'm not a huge fan of, but like you throw in a pickled onion instead. Oh, and the vermouth, and it's always like dry vermouth, and it's friggin', that doesn't sound appealing.
No. So what you want is a sweet vermouth on the rocks with a twist.
Right. And then you like to drink to world peace.
You like to just close my eyes, say a prayer to world peace.
Amen. That's my favorite part. He stands there for a second. She takes a sip and he goes, amen. And you
that's my favorite part. And the other part is the bartender rolling his eyes.
Yeah, he's just really shaking his head. Dude, I didn't know what to put for the last one, so I put where Sandy Bullock is freaking out in the hotel room with. All my quotes are from the same scene. And she's just like, it's part of the thing that was in the trailer. And she's like, I just don't understand. Why me? Why me? I'm nobody. I'm nothing. They knew everything about me. Like the dude had the cigarettes that she used to smoke. Like the whole, like, I used to believe I was a cat. And she
and her
used to talk
favorite
about
dream,
that, like,
her favorite drink, and like where she grew up and all that stuff.
That's craziness. I mean, that's easy to do now. You just...
That's what I'm saying. Like in 95, they're like, dude, computers pretty dangerous. And now it's like, yeah, they know everything.
Yeah,
like,
they know all this stuff.
if I get sick, Target knows before my wife knows. Like, that's just the way that it works.
Yeah.
Like, probably if I walk into Publix probably could tell me, like, we know exactly what 7 things you're going to buy.
Yeah. And also,
like, I don't know why I keep making a list. They could just tell me what I'm here for.
Publix is also going to change the price based on who's standing in front of the item. That's the company that's doing that.
Gotta love that. That's technology I'm excited about.
Digital.
Remember Wendy's did their surge pricing for the drive-thru, and everyone was like, "We'll burn it down! I swear to God!" Like, we're just joking. We're not actually going to do that.
No, we still have square burgers. Come on.
And float that little trial balloon out there, and everyone's like, "I'm not joking around. Don't even think about it." My second quote was one of the similar ones from Sandy, where she was just like, they got on the computers and they erased everything. They did it to me, and they could do it to you. It's just like one of those. I could tell that like the screenwriters were like, we should write about computers. They're pretty dangerous, and like that was the whole. Yeah. Those little speeches were like the whole point of them writing.
But to be honest, though, it did kind of like, this is like before Y2K. This is like, like the idea of like, what's it? Not identity theft, but like when you're trying to phishing, and like government surveillance and all of that stuff is way more mainstream now. They were kind of.
Well, it's also funny because in the early internet days when you had like ICQ chat, like and then MSN Messenger and AOL AIM chat, everybody used fake. No one used their real name. Everyone used like a random string of numbers and letters or like some pun-based thing. Yeah. And then like we got to a point later, like by the time we were in college, where it's like you just get your Gmail and it's just your actual whole name.
All I can think of now is Johnny's like, I don't know. They're not sending me any. I keep sending my application on my email, don'tlovehose420 at Yahoo, and they're not sending anything back.
Yeah, I'm not getting any jobs.
When he said that and then realized and changed it and started getting all the emails. That's great.
That's why we changed our email addresses, because when it was time to apply for jobs, we were like, no one's calling us back. And then we put our real names in, and now you use your real name for everything. But now, like, Gen Z's like, I'm not using my real name. You got to be crazy.
Everything's...
And, like, we flipped it back around.
Yeah. High-waisted jeans and no names.
Yeah, dude. And I don't have a third one, because this movie did not have a lot of quotes.
Yeah, it didn't have a lot of quotes. So who's your first character? It's got to be Sandy, right?
Yeah, dude. Sandy. Yeah. She's the best.
Friggin'. All right.
Like, she's 30 here. This is her, like, you know, her vehicle. She's great.
Speaking of her vehicle, when she was packing to leave for Mexico, did you see? Like, she was cramming the stuff in. The trunk only opened like a little tailgate. Like, does the whole hatch not open? The whole time I was like, her trunk is unbelievably tiny. And then the very next scene, she's laying on her stomach in a bikini. I was like, I take that back. Her trunk is not as tiny as I thought it was. Never mind. Dude, the whole time I was watching it, I was like, I know that in Speed, in Demolition Man, I always thought like, oh, Sandra Bullock's kind of hot. Like, But in this movie, she was freaking like I'm glad she was on the screen the whole time. She was that good at. Like she was a
dude,
good
she's
actress.
awesome.
Carried the movie, super hot, super charming. Like what the heck? She
I
should
wish
have made
that
way
she-
more movies than this.
Well, I wish that she had gotten her Academy Award for a better movie than The Blind Side, but then like you look back at her filmography and she did a bunch of like rom-coms and stuff, which I love, but no one ever gives any awards for.
Yeah, you don't get stuff for that.
So I was trying to look. I was like, well, I wonder what the best movie is. I'm like, I think if you were going to go give her like retroactively, it's like, dude, the best movie I think that she ever did was probably Speed. Because Speed was freaking fantastic. Although Gravity is also great. She could have won something for that.
Yeah.
Miss Congeniality is great. Those movies don't win awards. Dude, she's done almost all stuff. It's all stuff like even like 2 Weeks Notice in The Proposal. I like those movies.
Yeah, they're
Like
good.
those are good.
Yeah, they're good. Oh man, I forgot she was in all those movies. 28 Days, remember that?
Yeah. Yes, dude. It's all stuff that I want to do on the podcast. It's all stuff that I liked.
Yeah, I like her. I didn't like The Blind Side that much, but that's just
I didn't like The Blind Side. No, I didn't like her character. I didn't like the story, and I didn't like
Yeah.
knowing that it's all made up.
It is?
I mean, that's what
man.
the Michael Oher says. He's like, that family made a bunch of money off of me, and then
That
and
stinks.
I want some of it.
I didn't I didn't like it, but that was
Yeah, I
before
got her
knew
first. She's great. She's 30 at this point. She's like still coming up. This is her first after Speed,
Yeah.
after Demolition Man, and after this, she's like, that's Sandy Bullock. She's a star. She can do whatever she wants.
it. Now we all call her
bet-
Sandy.
Dude, I bet if you showed our wives a picture of Sandra Bullock on the beach in Mexico, they could guess what year this movie was just from the bikini style. It's like
just
a very mid 90s bikini, like the freaking high waisted, like
super high. Yeah.
yeah. My second pick is
I didn't need
Dennis
this
Miller, very convincingly playing Dennis Miller in this movie.
Dr. Alan Champion. It was her ex-lover and shrink
Therapist
and
Shrink.
and emotional support guy in this movie, comic relief in this movie. He killed it. And they killed him. How did he die?
So initially they changed his
Swapped his
prescription
right.
to give him penicillin, which he was allergic to.
Right.
And then when he went into the hospital to get treated for that allergic reaction, that anaphylaxis or whatever, they changed his
swapped
chart to say that he was diabetic. And then I guess they just
right.
pumped
And
him full of whatever.
Yeah. They
I
pumped
didn't-
him full of
Sugar. I didn't think you could kill somebody that way, but I also don't. I know enough about medicine, even less than I know about internet.
I know that there's only 2 diabetes, but I'm trying to go for diabetes.
Yeah.
Type 4. I'm trying to win diabetes.
Numero trace. I got the full blown diabetes, dude. I'm also just gonna say I like Dennis Miller, and I'm glad that he was in this movie. But I do think that his character would have been a terrible counselor because he didn't take anything serious. He was not trying to validate her feelings at all. He was just quipping. I was like, this guy sucks at his job. I can already tell.
How does that make you feel? Because it makes me feel like Mengelay's briefcase is open on this. I'm like, what?
And he slept with his patient while he's married, which is a huge ethical problem.
Yeah, of course
when
it
you're
is.
when you're a therapist and when you're married. Yeah, he sucks as a therapist, I feel pretty sure. And he deserves to be dead. No, not really. But I like him.
I put him second, and I didn't know. So part of me wanted to pick the dog. You know how I always try to pick somebody that you're not going to pick, so we don't have the same people. And I wanted to put like the Cyber Chat friends and Cyber Bob and all those people, but I just couldn't. The only third person I could put was Jack Devlin, the
fake Rupert Everett.
Great value Rupert Everett.
Yeah, Jeremy Northam. He's the villain. He's the only other person in this movie. Like, there's everything else was like somebody who had 2 lines. I couldn't pick.
Man,
I couldn't pick anybody
Rupert
else.
Everett. I want to watch a movie with him in it. My best friend's wedding.
My best friend's wedding in '97. I think will be the first one we do.
Oh, great! Oh my God, race you to the altar. She's
dude, I like
Whitney
Rupert.
Houston's aunt.
I like Rupert Everett too. I'm excited. Yeah, man, he's a good villain. He's like if Hugh Grant took a heel turn, but he's just he's just like suave and British, and his hair slicked back, and he's wearing sunglasses all the time. It's good casting.
Yeah, he did a good job because in the beginning if you don't know that he's fishing and taking all of her info, you're like, oh, this guy's all right. I like this guy. They might make a good couple, but they don't.
Yeah. Do you think that the writers knew enough about fishing with a PH for information to actually put him on a fishing boat as a joke?
I got to be honest. I don't know that fishing was an actual thing when this movie came out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying like I don't think anybody called it fishing, right? Did they?
Well, I think it came around about the same time because it plays on the same pattern of phreaking, PHREAK, which is a way to fake out the phone lines.
Yeah.
And I think fishing was derived from that, but it was sometime probably in the 90s, but I don't know exactly.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're like.
It says phishing scams originated in the 1990s by hackers using America Online. I wonder when they first. Oh, it says the term phishing was first recorded in 1995.
Huh. What year did this?
And it might have been. This came out in 95 because we're in 2025.
Yeah, so but they wrote it before this, so they are prophetic.
Yeah. They made a phishing joke they didn't even know about.
Nice.
Yeah, dude, Jeremy Northam. So it's 1, 2, 3. They're the only 3 people that talk in this movie. It's kind of hard to pick anybody else.
Yeah. That's true. Unless you want to count Ruth Marks, the other Angela Bennett. She's all right.
Yeah, dude, she's fine. Who's the guy? I can never remember the guy that plays the Cabletown guy in 30 Rock. That was in the beginning of the movie, the Secretary of Defense who like fake got AIDS and then killed himself.
Yeah.
Always love that guy. He's not even on the cast list that I'm looking at because he's in so little in the movie.
Guy. Oh, that's freaking great.
But writer-director Irvin Winkler directs this.
Yeah, Irvin Winkler. He did Rocky, didn't he?
Irvin Winkler. So he produced he's mainly known as a producer. He produced like They Shoot Horses in 1969 with Jane Fonda, which got nominated for 9 Academy Awards. He wins an Oscar as a producer for Rocky. He also is a producer for Raging Bull, Right Stuff, and Goodfellas, all of which get Best Picture nominations. But he only directed like 5 movies. This is one of them.
Nice.
But he produced like 60 things, and he made tons and tons of money.
Oh yeah.
But I don't think directing is necessarily
all the
his
Rockies.
thing. Yes.
He's doing, and then the Creed movies after that.
Yep.
Right after Rocky V, he did The Juror. That's a spinoff of The Ruhr Juror.
Yeah, dude. And he's... So as a producer, he did all kind of stuff, but as a director, he only did a couple things.
Yeah. I liked... I like a lot of those movies.
Yeah. And the writers is a writing team, John Brancato and Michael Ferris, and they wrote a handful. I mean, it's funny. You look at a filmography and you go like, these guys only wrote a couple things, and it's also like, all right, so they're not as good as some writers, but they also got 12 feature scripts produced. So really, like, that's pretty crazy. Even though none of them were huge movies, but they did like The Game in '97, Michael Douglas.
If we don't do The Game,
I was gonna say I remember liking.
I'm gonna be so upset.
And they did Terminator 3. They did the Catwoman movie that everyone hated with Halle
and
Berry.
the other Terminator, the Salvation.
They did Terminator Salvation.
Nice.
So like again, like pretty solid like middle class Hollywood writing career that spanned 2 decades. Like
bad.
never did anything that was huge, but did movies from 1990 up through like 2017.
They're working. They're working. And again, the way that they wrote this with the stuff that they had to work with at the time, I thought they built the thriller part of it, the suspense, and I thought they built that up perfect.
It's just too long, dude. The movie's too long. The writer or the director or the editor has to come together and go like, "This is just way too long. We got to figure this out."
Somebody has to cut something out.
I don't know who's in charge of that. I don't know who I can blame for that. But
that's the editor and it's got to be the editor and the director.
Well, the writer can also be a part of that because if they're going to cut a big chunk of the story out, the writer probably has to help them go like, we have to connect this piece to this piece and get there way quicker because people are bored. I wanted to mention the music. I didn't think the music was outstanding for this, but I looked up the composer. It's Mark Isham, who has won a bunch of Grammys and also was nominated for an Academy Award for the score for A River Runs Through It, which is obviously a big hit on the podcast.
I love that movie.
Dude, you look at the movies that this guy has scored, and it's a ton of them. He's like Point Break,
nice.
River Runs Through It,
Quiz Show,
yeah,
nice.
Time Cop, obviously, big movie for the podcast, Waterworld, The Net, Kiss the Girls. So it's like it's nothing where it's like, oh, that's. But this dude's
put on the composer score of Made in America, starring Ted Danson and Whoopi Goldberg, please. I love that score.
Yeah, I listen to that one while I work out. But dude, but it's weird because you look at it, it's like in 2007, this guy scored 8 movies. How's that even possible? He had to be reusing shit, right? You can't.
Dude, I don't know. 2007, I'm glad you picked that one. That's got Lions for Lambs. That's a Robert Redford classic. I love Robert Redford.
Yeah, this guy clearly works a lot with Robert Redford, and whatever he's doing, Robert Redford likes. All right, dude, we're running out of time. Let's get into the worst.
Yeah.
The worst scene / character. I didn't have any worst scenes or characters, although I could easily cut 20 minutes out of this. But I wanted to mention that Sandra Bullock is on the run. The police are after her. The federal government is after her. Her picture's on TV.
Yeah.
And not only does she not change her hairstyle or her hair color, she doesn't even change her outfit. She's wearing the exact same clothes as the picture on the TV of her. She doesn't normally it's like you do you color your hair blonde, like you put on a heavy coat. She's wearing the exact same shit. She did change nothing.
I didn't kill my wife. At least he shaved everything and changed
That's
all
what
the
I'm
stuff.
saying, dude. That's why our fugitive's name is Dr. Richard Kimball. Go get him. So she was a terrible fugitive. She tried to run from the cops. She made it 20 feet.
Yeah. She was in the car and ran off the road.
I have that. I have that in political incorrectness because it seemed like her car crashed very quickly, and I was like, "Is this some kind of commentary on women drivers?" Because I feel like if Harrison Ford was driving that car, he would have made it way longer.
He would have spun around and shot him as it was spinning. And
that's what I'm saying, dude. I think that was sexist. That portrayal of her driving. I think she's better than that. We saw her in Speed drive the shit out of a bus. I know she can drive. She got her freaking CDL for Speed.
Yeah, it's way bigger than a Pinto.
Yeah, dude. The cops are like, "I'm going to kill the Wildcat. I'm going to take it all out."
Yeah. Yeah, dude, my whole thing was the virus visualization.
Yeah.
That's what I had for the worst. Like, he hits escape, and the virus starts taking over, and the screen just gets kind of blurry a little bit. It starts to eat the screen. They're like, hurry up, it's in the mainframe. Like, they're just yelling words out. I didn't
it's
like
headed
that.
right for us.
Yeah. Get out of the way. I also didn't like the unrealistically fast loading times for 1995 internet, which sounds
Can you imagine how long the movie would have been if they'd done the real 95 loading times? We'd still be sitting there.
It's still loading because somebody picked up the phone. Also, the floppy disk was holding a whole lot more information than it should have, obviously.
A lot of extra information.
Now we know that. One last thing I had for the worst. It's about me. She was trying to get away and cranking the outboard motor, and I realized that me and Sandra Bullock pull a crank motor engine the exact same way. I would have never gotten it to start also. Like, I suck so bad at those.
I like that she knocked out Great Value Rupert Everett, and then she decided to escape in the dinghy, and she's just trying to crank it. And I was like, why didn't she just roll him into the ocean and let him drown? This movie'd be over.
Oh man!
And I also have to say because
that inflatable dinghy did explode pretty big too. That was kind of
oh yeah, I'm sure it was filled with helium or hydrogen, whichever the one is that explodes. But I did say, and I want to capture because we're going to do Tommy Boy later on in 95 season. I always said, quit playing with your dinghy.
Oh god, I said that the other day. That's so weird. Dude, and we had. There's a bunch of old tech. Do we need
There's
to talk
so much,
about?
Dude.
Yeah. Do we need to talk about all the stuff we didn't miss? The only thing that we missed that I had written down was at the pier where she was meeting him by the Ferris wheel. Cotton candy was 50 cents.
Yeah, man.
Let me tell you, I went to the Pels game with Jake, and he asked for cotton candy. I had to fill out
$12.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Way too much. So cotton candy was cheaper back then. Everything was.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they had fax machines. We need to bring back the fax machine.
Boy, did they. All right, man. Let's do 5 questions. Is it okay for kids?
Dude, I thought so, right? Like,
I think it's fine. I just don't think they'll care.
They're not.
It'll be like Blue Chips. It's like, what's the point of this whole movie? None of it even matters.
They all get paid. I said 11. It was probably the right answer.
Right. Would this movie get made if it were pitched now? I mean, in 2006?
But yeah, you could make it now. You just make it better, right? Now it's Mr. Robot or whatever that show was.
Yeah,
You know
dude,
what I'm saying?
I think now you have to be scared of, like, it's basically Terminator, right? You're scared of the AI becoming sentient and taking over the
Right.
world,
Yeah, that's
which I actually am legitimately scared of.
what you should be scared of is how AI is taking over the younger people in this generation's schoolwork, and they're not learning anything. You're gonna go have heart surgery, and the guy's gonna go, "Let me ask Gemini how to do this." Hang on,
Dude, we went to Aziz Ansari at the Ryman last week,
Yeah.
and he was like talking about, he had some stuff about AI, and he was asking people in the front row, he's like, "You guys use AI?" And he's like, and someone says, "Yeah," and he goes, "What do you use AI for?" And the guy goes, "Oh, I use it to plan lesson plans for my kids." He's like, "Great." He's like, and then he asks another guy, he's like, "What do you use it for?" He goes, "Oh, I do use it to help me diagnose patients." And Aziz is just like, he just steps back. He's like, "If anybody in Nashville goes to a bald-headed Indian doctor, you should know that you should probably not do that." I was like, that dude, and I'm like 6 rows behind him. I'm like, did he go to med school? Well, he's typing symptoms into ChatGPT. Why the fuck am I paying him money? Why don't I just stay home and do that?
To be honest, though, don't the doctors normally do that? They go back to the room and say, "Oh my god, I don't know what the hell that was. I've never seen. That's not the tube or the circle." Yeah, dude, there is definitely stuff you can use AI for. They're using it for everything.
Yeah. That's
That
That's
is
not the right move.
if they're gonna make it now, it needs to be a comedy about how bad and dumb everybody's getting.
yeah. They definitely
Idiocracy,
can.
too.
They should do that. Movie or TV show? I think movie.
Yeah, it's. I mean,
And it's
what
just
was
you're
Mr.
scared
Robot?
we're
Wasn't
scared of
Mr. Robot
technology.
about something like this though?
Yeah, I
Like,
think
wasn't
so.
he a hacker that like the government turned on him or something? I don't know. I like that guy.
Yeah, me
Rami
too.
Malek.
Rami Malek.
So maybe it could be something different. I don't know.
I think
probably
movie.
watch it.
We're scared of AI. It's gonna kill us all. Terminator sequel. These guys can write it. They've done several Terminator movies. They're available.
Ooh, there we go.
Yeah,
Put
man.
them together.
Did you do any recasting?
Dude, it's all the like. No, I didn't.
I thought this was pretty easy, so I actually gave a shot. I had some extra time today, so I got for Sandra Bullock. I want someone that's it's like got the Sandra Bullock qualities, you know, like she's super cute, but also like she's a good actor, and so I went Ana de Armas.
See, she was on my list because
I like
just
her. Like I
watched
could see her
Knives
like
Out.
she put her hair in a ponytail and like run, you know, from the police.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's believable. I like
Yeah,
that.
I just
And
watched.
some of the people I thought about, like Sydney Sweeney, it's like, oh, she's an up and coming young actor. I don't think she's good enough that I would watch her for 90 minutes. I don't think she's that good.
and it has to be her on screen the whole time.
That's
you
what I'm
know?
saying. Like if she wanders across in a bikini in the show, it's like, sure, that's great casting, but I don't want the whole movie. When I see her in a whole movie, I'm like, that's enough. I don't need any more.
It was her and Margot Robbie that I put down because I had just watched Knives Out and I was like, oh, she would be good on the net. But dude, I didn't like. I don't. Maybe. I
like
know.
Margot Robbie. I was trying to get somebody who was less white.
Younger.
Ana de Armas is
Yeah.
vaguely brownish.
Yeah.
She's Hispanic at least.
Who's the British male antagonist? Do you have a British male antagonist?
I don't think he's British. I got Dev Patel.
Nice. I freaking love that dude.
But I was, like he's
Green
great,
Knight
and
was awesome.
he's kind of, you could tell he's like, he could definitely be kind of like charming, but also kind of evil.
Yeah.
I thought about British, but I was trying to get away from white people. Although for Dennis Miller, I had to go with a sarcastic white guy, and I went with Jake Johnson.
Nice. Dude, he is perfect for that.
Yeah, dude, he's quippy, but he's also like not leading man, like
Right.
handsome. So like it's perfect.
He can grow
I
a
feel
beard.
good about that casting.
He can
Yeah.
grow a beard. Yeah. I would
Yeah.
watch it. So can you watch and enjoy it?
Yeah, dude, it's worth a watch. It's on Netflix, which is huge because you don't have to do anything extra to watch it, unless you're me and you're somewhere else, and you have to tell Netflix you're on
You gotta
vacation
go
so
on
you can watch your
vacation.
Netflix.
Got to go on vacation. Yeah, agreed. I thought Sandy did a great job. Knocked it out of the park.
She's awesome.
Good job, Sandy. Dumb
Yeah,
dog.
man. All right. Thank you guys for listening. Next Patreon episode, we're going to do a Spaceballs. Probably have that out in the next couple weeks. You can do
Spaceballs,
free
the Lunchbox.
7-day trial of Patreon.
Baseball, the movie.
Yes.
That's
And then next, on the main feed, we're going to do a movie I've been waiting to do for a long time, Waterworld.
Waterworld. Awesome. I'm very excited about Waterworld.
It's better than people think. I mean, it's not good,
I hope
but
so.
it's better than people think. And
this
it's
is what
also
I'm hoping-
available on Netflix.
I know there's explosions and stuff. I just want to crank it up on the surround sound and watch it. So I'm going to be excited.
Yeah, dude, if you go into it thinking like, I hope this is entertaining, and you watch freaking people ramping jet skis over the top of stuff,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's worth it.
That's what I'm doing. That's how I'm going in. Yeah, freaking right. I can't wait.
All right.
Bye,
See you guys next time. Bye, con Dios. Thanks for listening to Movie Life Crisis. Please subscribe, rate, and review. And remember, don't drive angry.